Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to our roundtable discussion today. I'm your moderator and my name is Chi. And before we start, it is my honor to introduce our speaker today. First, let us welcome together to Ms. Nadira Saleh, who is the R&D Packaging General Manager from Yummy Corporation. And then, secondly, which is Ms. Fariha, who is the representative from Federations of Malaysian Consumer Association. And then next one is Prof. Jen Vizupe, who is a professor of Technology Division, School of Technology Industry from University Science Malaysia. And last but not least, Mr. Chu Simon, who is a representative from the Ministry of Health under the Safety and Quality Department. Let us have a big applause to welcome them again. So, we can see that in today's competitive business environment, product packaging is as crucial as the product itself. Apart from protecting the food product, food packaging is also play an important role as a marketing tool. So, I would like to ask Ms. Nadira, as the packaging general manager, so you have seen that the company like the Gardenia, they have changed their packaging of bun product into a cleaner design, which is with more white space. You can see here, this is the example. Oh, sorry, thank you. With more white space, and it compared to the previous one. So, what's your stand on this question? And do you think that the food packaging itself, either is the aesthetic or the function is more important?
Good question, Ms. Chi. Thanks. And hello and good morning, everyone. So back to the question. So packaging design is really important in food products, as we know. And it is because of it is an excellent marketing tools for us because we are using it to survive in a competitive business environment. So with the packaging design, so it is considered as something that is eye-catching on the shelf, and it is stimulate the sales for the food product so we can gain the profits. So it is very likely that the consumers are willing to pay more. This is true. It is because of if the packaging is pleasant to them. So one of the psychology research that done by the University of South California, so it is found that attractive design is considered as a reward to the consumers. So our brain releases dopamine, right? So this dopamine will make us feel rewarded whenever we can own or buy the pleasant packaging, for example. So this is a win-win situation, actually, Ms. Sitchi. So we can gain our profits, and the consumer will feel rewarded. So in industrial area, we tend to spend more on packaging design, and it is to attract the consumer, and it is for us also to can get the to compete with the other brands or type of the materials that have available in the market.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Nadira, for your detailed explanations. Actually, I can relate that the packaging design is important as a marketing tools, but I also feel that the packaging function is also cannot be ignored. So, I want to ask your opinion, Prof. Jen, as an academic expert in the food industry, in the food technology. What's your own stand on this topic?
Yes, indeed. I feel that the function of packaging is very extremely important from my point of view. One of the main importance of the packaging is to protect the food product. So the packaging material should be able to protect the food because we need to ensure the energy we invest to producing the product and transporting them from the source through the supply chain and to the home and shop is not wasted. So the one important aspect to maintain the quality of the food product. So in simple way, the protection is the most important thing in the food packaging. There are various types of damage that can be occur on a food product, like the physical damage such as a vibration, shock, and a compressive factor, and as well as the environment damage such as the exposure to light, gas, water, and the odor, and as well as the microorganism. So a proper packaging is a very important aspect, like the barrier property and the tensile strength. This is a thing we should consider when choosing a packaging material. Let me take an example of a biscuit. As we all know that biscuit is really sensitive to the gas and moisture, that it will affect its textural property. So when we coming to choose a proper packaging to biscuit is extremely important to maintain its quality. So the packaging materials selected should have a good moisture and gas barrier like the polypropylene and polyester. Another example is the beer. Is usually we bottle it in a color glass bottle instead of a transparent glass bottle. Transparent glass bottle have a better presentation in terms of design, but it is not suitable because it allows the light to pass through and cause the undesirable effect to the beer, undesirable off flavor to a beer, and it will ultimately reduce the shelf life of the beer. So in short, I think the company should invest more in the function of the packaging to avoid a larger loss, like lost quality of the product.
Okay, thanks Miss Prof Jen for your detailed information for us. So regardless, I would like to ask our policymaker, Mr. Simon, is there any regulation or the policy standing regarding on the stand of the function of the design of a packaging material?
Okay, first, thank you, Ms. Sechi, for inviting me here. Actually, there's no specific regulation on this stand. So the regulation is like more focused on the safety of the consumer. I think that functionality of the packaging material is like to protect the food itself, but doesn't contaminate the food product itself also. So we need to ensure the safety of the food product. As we all know that there are many chemical are being added into the food packaging material, right? So we need to choose suitable packaging to prevent those excessive interaction between the food product and also the packaging material. Sadly, in Malaysia, there's little regulation regarding the food packaging material. As long as the food packaging material is not harmful to human being, then it's allowed to contain any type of food products. But unlike EU and also the FDA, they actually have a detailed list of the additive and monomer that can be added into the packaging itself. Taking an example like the polyvinyl chloride packaging, which is known as PVC, in EU and Malaysia, they are allowed to contain any type of food product. However, in FDA, it's not allowed to contain the fatty food product, as there will be excessive migration of the additive and also the monomer into a food product, which causes the food is not safe to be consumed. Speaking of the migration itself, Malaysia also don't have much regulation on the migration itself. So it's like except those PVC and also the heavy metal from the ceramic ware. So in EU, they have a list of the specific migration limit from the food packaging into the food product, but FDA is like it's up to the company to decide whether they are reasonable migration from the packaging. So taking an example like also the PVC packaging just now, our Malaysia and EU also limit that the food that contained in the PVC packaging should not be exceed 0.05 ppm monomers. But FDA they don't have anything like that. So I think that it's important to choose a suitable food packaging to contain the food product, so that we need to abide to the regulation as well. So you don't need to like record all the product in, which is much more costly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Simon, for your information. So I would like to ask our consumer, the representative, as you have listened all our speaker, the discussion. So what's your stand on this topic as we discuss?
Thank you, Suci. Well, as a consumer, actually this is first time I heard about the functionality of the packaging material are being considered when choosing the packaging material of the product. Even though that I know the importance of the functionality of the packaging material, but as a consumer, I still think that the packaging design are more important to attract the consumer. Because consumer tends to attract to the design of the packaging instead of the functionality of the packaging material. And I would say that the consumer in Malaysia willingly to pay more for the nice packaging design. As most of the consumer in Malaysia doesn't have any knowledge regarding to the functionality of the packaging material. And I would say that I wouldn't care much about the functionality of the packaging material. And besides, when I'm buying product for the intended use, that will cause the product to lose their appeal, where the aesthetic packaging material can be used for the other purposes, even the initial function of the packaging are lost. So, for example, like cookies, metal box of the cookies product, we can turn and use it as the sewing tool, and I think it's nice to look at, and because it's convenient. And thus, I believe that industries should spend more on the packaging design.
I am really agree with Ms. Fareha, which is the consumer. So actually, consumer demand packaging, design packaging more than the functionality of the packaging. So to fulfill this demand, we invested more on packaging design rather than the functionality. So it is also help our product, actually the design help our product to be differentiated from the other competitors. So for example, like this Coca-Cola. So it have the signature color of red and white, which is obviously it can be differentiated from any other type of soft drinks competitors. And they are using striking color, which it can be noticeable on the shelf. So the packaging design also actually tells a story of the product, and it helps the product to be sold. So like color, topography, illustrations, it will give effect to the perception of the food product. So like they are using red color, which is attention grabber. So and it gives a perception of intense flavor, while the topography gives the identity of the brand product itself. So like the illustration, it will achieve the function, okay? It will providing credibility and appeal to the consumer appetite. So you just imagine like fresh orange image on the fresh juice packaging. So it is actually the juice, we can imagine that the juice is made from the fresh orange, and it appeals the consumer appetite, and it makes me want to buy it. So all of these combination factors actually will affect the perception of the product, and it helps actually our product to be sold in the market.
Indeed. Indeed, looking at the piping hot searches, indeed made me feel like I want to buy the product itself.
Yes.
Indeed, the packaging design that graphic tells the information on the product itself. This will invoke the feeling as a consumer like me and help a consumer to make the purchasing decision quickly. For example, some of the milk products include the cow grazing in the field that make me feel that this milk is milk from the happy and healthy cow, that make me feel that invoke the feeling that this milk is better choice than other milk products.
Sorry, to that I have to that issue I have some opinion of myself. Because one of the packaging functionalities is like to provide the information of the food product to the consumer, which is can be seen on the labeling itself. And Malaysia has required the manufacturer to like put designation, list of ingredient, net weight, the hypersensitivity ingredient declaration, and also the manufacturer address to be declared on the product so that the consumer know what are they are actually buying. However, often that the packaging design in Malaysia are more focused on their design until they have overshadowed that the packaging labeling on the product. So as seen in the packaging here, like no commercial intended. So we can see that this is a very nice packaging that which reminds us as a premium juice, grape juice product, right? But actually it just only contains 10% of fruit juice. So actually this is a fruit drink. And it doesn't have any labeling of either it's fruit drink or fruit juice inside. So this will give a misleading information to the consumer, right? So when they buy it, they thought that this is a healthy fruit juice. Fruit juice, sorry. So I think that the industry should be involved more on the labeling and also the packaging functionality to prevent all those wrong labeling information and so on. Because like if you want to relabel it, it will like cost more, right?
Yes, now you mentioned it. Actually, it's true that functionality of the packaging material are important in terms of convey the message in terms of the labeling. Customer wants to know about the types of product, ingredient list, manufacturing place, halal logo, nutrition facts, and also the expired date of the product they are buying as well. So the correct information needed to be shown and clear on the product instead of hiding it in, under the nice packaging design. So I do believe that the industry should invest both on the packaging design or also and on the functional of the packaging material.
I see. So I want to ask the project, do you have any information want to add on after listening them?
Yes, the packaging design is, we know that is a really powerful, powering tool to appeal to consumers. Although this is a bit sidetracked, but the printing ink on the packaging design can also cause a problem to the food product, which will cause the food packaging to lose its original function to protect the food. Like Mr. Chu said earlier, there is another functionality of the food product is to prevent the contamination to the food product. So the component of the printing ink, like the heavy metal and mineral oil, can be migrating from the food packaging into the food product itself. Although the printing ink is usually applied on the external side of the packaging, such migration can cause the contamination to the food, and it will definitely defeat the function of the packaging to protect the food. So I think a manufacturer should invest more on their food function of the food packaging in order to prevent the contamination to the food product.
After listening to everyone, it seems that in today's competitive business environment, both the packaging design and the packaging functions are equally crucial. So, anyone of you have any last thought or conclusions want to make before we end the discussion?
Yeah. Yes, as a consumer, we do want our food product that we're buying safe instead of and as well as aesthetic. But we don't want to risk our life and getting poisoned because of the aesthetic aspect of the packaging material itself. So we demand the industry to
us more information on the packaging and labeling itself on a small medium food industries, and we promise that our company will try to find an optimum balance between the design and the functionality of the food product in future.
Okay, it seems that all of us has a high hope on us right now. So I think that all of us should be like working together to find that optimum balance between the aesthetic and the packaging functionality, so that the aesthetic functionality packaging can be produced.
Okay, once again, thank you to our speaker today for coming, joining the discussion, and also thank you to the audience for joining you. And then, in a nutshell, the functionality of the packaging can preserve the quality and safety of the food product. Well, this can reduce the cost of faulty and also the recall products. However, the design of the packaging itself also play an important role as the marketing tools to attract the consumer to buy the product. So it's important to find a balance between the packaging design and also the function of the packaging, and this to achieve the maximum benefit, and thus for the company they have the ability to compete with among each other and in this today's competitive business environment. That's all from us today, and thank you